Feeling philosophical? A little academic? Is the existential dread setting in? Or are you just hungry? The Girls on Games cast is here for you. Kat reviews the semi-autobiographical indie game Consume Me, and we learn about a Grand Theft Auto University class we all want to take as an elective. Grab a snack, sit down, because class is in session.
Get ready for the Girls on Games podcast, your weekly dose of news, reviews, and everything video games. Always served with a good helping of hype and just a pinch of salt. And now, your host, Leah.
Hello and welcome to another Girls on Games podcast. My name is Leah. I'm the host of this show. This is episode number 510, and joining me around this digital table is Catherine. Hello.
Hello.
And Joelle, what's up?
Hello. I want it. We're in fall summer, or we had false fall. Now we're in second summer, and I'm still willing the cold vibes. Like,
I thought it was only like second breakfast. How did this start accounting for seasons?
I don't know. No, it's like it's in Minnesota. It's like you have your false fall when it dips below, 70 degrees Fahrenheit. And you're like, it's here, and you're so happy. And then it's like, just kidding. Here's another 90-degree days and 4 incredibly crazy rainstorms, and you don't get your fall yet.
Yeah, and today is, when we're recording, the first day of fall. So yeah, and you know what fall brings? Review season.
Woo.
But I feel like we're in that all the time now lately. There's no more of the peak season, but if there was, this is it. And there is a lot of games. And I'll get into that in a bit. But first, housekeeping. If you enjoyed this show, you can subscribe. We're available on Apple Podcasts, YouTube Music, iHeartRadio, Spotify, and Podbean. If you'd like some GOG merch, well, you're just going to have to wait a little bit. Because we're still trying to solve the problem of where we can get to do it, to produce the merch. If you got any recommendations, please drop us a line on Discord. But maybe you'd like to buy us a coffee. Maybe give us a tip instead. You can do that by going to our Ko-fi. That's ko-fi.com/girlsongames. Ladies, I feel like I haven't been in the saddle for a week, so I am tongue-tied. I've edited this podcast so it's succinct, and we're only 3 minutes in, for crying out loud. But yeah, thanks for holding down the fort last week. It was fun listening to you back.
I got a bit tongue-tied too a few times, but I think I powered through it.
No, you guys did great. It was fun, and the game was fun too. I was having a good chuckle at what was it, Pokemon or City Name
I think it would have killed it.
Yeah, I knew some of those cities, so yeah. But then there's ones that I didn't, so yeah, you had a few good ones in there. Joelle, what were you up to over the course of the week?
What was I? Doctor's appointments still, all the time. Well, this last week, I did end up going to the ortho. Did I say this already? I can't remember what week it is.
Who knows?
I went to the ortho, and I did get an X-ray, and at first she was like, "You have early onset arthritis," and I was like, "I hate. What did you say?"
Shh. Don't say anything else.
No, she's like, "I'm gonna say the A word," and I'm like, "What A word are you gonna say? What?" And so she said it, and I had a mini meltdown that day because I was very sad and terrified. So I was like, "This is the end. This is it for me. This is 38. Cheers."
It was good. Pour it out.
Tap me out, coach. And then I went back the next day. I had a PT appointment. So I went to the PT and I was like, "Well, I have arthritis." She was like, "No, you don't." I was like, "Yes, I do. The ortho told me." She was the ortho gave me a printout for my PT, so I handed it to her, and she was like, "No." She's like, "You have bone spurs on your left knee on the outside." She's like, that's not arthritis. She's like, you have what we said. You have tendinitis of the hamstring in the back of the knee. and the bone spurs aren't doing you any favors. So I was like, okay. And then so we figured out what's going on with my knee. That's what it is. Moving around and all that stuff was not a good idea. And I guess she said that like once the PT said like once the swelling kind of sets in on like a ligament issue, it's really hard to get out of like the swelling like phase. And so I just was in that. I just let it go too long, swollen, basically. So my bad. So I've been on some meds for the pain. Those meds were super duper helpful. And so the swelling is down. I went to the PT again today. And she thinks that hopefully actually after this visit, I might be going now down to once a week and now kind of getting back on like the regular physio path where there's new exercises every week, getting back that strength and that kind of stuff. So hopefully we're out of the woods there. And then in a few weeks, I go for my sinus surgery. So then there's that. So got to get ready for that. So like how to pre-op today, physical, they got to ask you all these questions, make sure like you're going to do all right at the surgery. And so I got to get that all ready to go. So it's a crazy year. I feel like I don't have that many health things. And then this year it's just like, it's like all at one time. So yeah.
As we grow, as we age.
Stupid. Aging
so
is
do the
stupid.
sands of time.
That's true.
As they wither away at our bones. What can we do? Live vicariously through video games and pretend to be children.
That's right. Great escapism.
Kat, what were you up to?
Oh, not much, to be honest. Saturday, hung out with my friend Uva. We went to get ice cream because there's a place in Montreal called L'Icône Glace, and they do like banging sundaes. They like have pastry chefs that make from scratch all the stuff that goes into the sundaes, like brownies and
that's dangerous.
Cheesecake and stuff like that. And
oh my gosh.
The Sunday of the week was tiramisu.
Oh man.
So like think affogato but like on crack.
Oh
it was amazing. But these Sundays they cost like $15. Like this is
a treat. This is a meal.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. We just kind of hung out. We have a friend coming to visit us this weekend. And of course, it's a great time for my dryer to start being on the fritz because I have so much laundry to do. And I was like, I'll do like in Europe and I'll air dry. And then they announced rain for the entire week. It barely rained in all of August and September. It barely rained. But this week they decided it's going to be humid. You can't dry your shit. I'm like, oh, God. But yeah, I'm just waiting for the service center to call me back to get it serviced. It's a heat pump dryer. It's not evacuating the water. I can get it to work if I put a bucket and get the drain in. So I'm like, maybe I can get a few loads done this way. But it's definitely a first world problem. I could go downstairs, borrow their dryer. I could go to a laundromat. I could just pile up the laundry and wait for it to be fixed. I have a bunch of unused like curtain rods. Last time my previous dryer broke, that's what I did. I used the curtain rods and I made like a extra air drying things. It's just like I didn't want to have all that shit lying around while we have somebody visiting, right?
True.
Right. Yeah.
So hopefully they'll fix it fast.
So far the first date when I did the form, I could only start as of next week. But yeah, hopefully they come in fast, but I'm going to try just to use it for like towels and linens, and then the clothes will I air dry like 50% to 75% of our clothes anyway.
I do too.
Especially active wear. Oh shit.
Oh yeah. None of that stuff should go in the dryer because it's just going to all the elasticity is just going to be melted out of it.
Yep.
Exactly. And we have a lot of graphic tees that have the plastified prints. Those don't really do well. Basically, the dryers for like our socks and our underwear.
Yeah, and sheets and towels.
Sheets and the towels. Yeah. And of course, we have just the one set of sheet. So I think we have like an old set somewhere that if we're really stuck, we could like, like change it. Also, I figured like if I have to wait like an extra 3 days, I figured I can wash just the
pillowcases.
The pillowcases, yeah.
Yeah.
And kind of make the sheet last an extra 4 or 5 days if we can.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Or just go, like I said, downstairs or go to the laundromat. It's just downstairs because they have the 4 kids. It's like
There's probably always running.
Always fucking running. Like if
Yeah.
I ask, they will like be like, yes, of course, for one load, like for an hour.
Oh, yeah.
But
yeah.
it's like, fit in there. I would
Mhm.
rather I'd rather air dry. Like honestly, it's just, so I just gotta deal with that. I'm just peeved because they're like not even 2 years old, and I bought like super high end. And I'm just like, why is my dryer already having issues?
Yeah. How long was your warranty?
A year.
Oh,
But because I paid for them to install it when I bought it, it extended it to 2 years, which I think is weird because like a lot of other appliance stores are offering 5 years, or manufacturers are offering 5 years.
Sure.
And I think like there's a new consumer law. I don't know if it's provincial or for the whole country, but they're like, appliances you should have a warranty for 5 years. Like if they break within 5 years, that is like planned obsolescence. That is not okay. Like,
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'll see what the technician says when they come. It's just, I feel like I've been dealing with faulty appliances on and off for the past like 3-4 years.
Yeah.
Because like my previous dryer broke. I got that fixed twice. And then my previous washer was starting to break down. They're like, we can't fix this. So, and our dishwasher had been broken for like 2 years, 3 years. We just weren't using it. So I went to the store and I bought like Miele, which is like a high-end British German brand. Bought a dishwasher, washer, dryer. And I was like, we're set. Everybody tells me they're the shit. And then this dryer started, like in the past 2 weeks, started to be like on the fritz. And I'm just like, I feel like a clown.
Yeah.
Like, why am I spending this much money on appliances if they all suck?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm kind of happy. The washer's been doing great. The dishwasher's been kind of okay. The start button sometimes gets stuck and it doesn't really start. And I'm just like, come on, dude. But yeah, everybody, even the technicians, when I got them installed, they were like, oh yeah, you're good. This is good stuff. I'm like, is it still good stuff though?
Who knows? Who knows anymore?
Yeah. Sorry, I'm just a bit annoyed. I am.
I'd be annoyed too.
Oh, yeah.
It's like you buy shit for it to work, and it's just like I don't want to keep replacing things. It's a lot of money, but it's also like a lot of pollution.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I am trying to not pollute. Like that is my thing. Like my phone is fucking almost 4 years old. Like I'm trying to not cycle out shit. I'm trying to get shit repaired. I got the battery changed on my smartwatch instead of buying the new one. I'm just like, I'm trying, guys. I'm trying. But the things, they're not working with me. But as long as they're highly, I guess they break down easy, but as long as they're easily repairable, maybe. Oh, so it's just my little stress for the week. On top of that, for the next 2 weeks, there's a transit strike in Montreal. So there's limited service on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday for this week and next week. And our friend is taking the train coming in on Friday.
Great.
And we were like, oh yeah, it's super easy. We'll take transit. Like my spouse was going to borrow my my monthly card.
Yeah.
And he was going to take his card and my card and then give her my card so she can come
Get
here.
back up. Yeah.
Now we're like, you got to take a taxi.
That's not something you
can
control. You know?
Yeah. I told her like, try to take a city taxi. Like I sent her my favorite app to book a city taxi. And I was like, try to take a city taxi because Uber and Lyft are going to surcharge 100%.
Oh yeah.
Metro's not,
Metro's not working. Yeah.
City taxis, same price, no matter what. It's a bit more expensive than Uber, but then Uber can be so much more. Like when they do the surcharge, I'm like, are you kidding me? Like
Yeah.
it shouldn't cost me like $50
No.
to go anywhere within the city.
No. Yeah. It's wild when they do that.
Yeah. I told her like the run should cost her like with taxes and tip about $30. I was like, if Uber's over that, your estimate is over, like if your estimate for the run is over 30, or I'm like, no, don't take it. Take the city taxi. But then it's going to be fine for over the weekend. So I guess when she goes back, we'll see if we, take the transit, or if she's like, yeah, I'll just take a taxi. I mean, it's Montreal. Taxis are okay. Taxis are fine. There's plenty of them. It's just with the transit strike, it might be a bit more. It'll either be harder because everybody's driving and everybody's trying to get a taxi, or it'll be easier because everybody stayed the fuck home. There's like no in between in this city.
Yeah.
That's true.
But I'll report back to see like what happens for our weekend. But we have like activities planned. Transit will be running during the weekend at least, but also she's visited Montreal before. She just kind of want to hang with us and like hang out in the non-touristy stuff. So we'll probably just walk around.
Fun.
Where I live. I've already booked, like I said last week, I've booked a table at a pub, a local pub. That's well known. So yeah, I'll probably do croissants from a bakery at one point, just walking around. And so far the weather, fingers crossed, which feels weird that after like two months of pure sunshine, we're again hoping for sunshine. But so far it looks like the weather is going to be nice this weekend. It's going to rain all week, and then it's going to be fine.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, what haven't I been doing? I was in Kelowna last weekend.
Yes.
That's why I was not on the show. Because my flight got in at 2 a.m. Toronto time, but I felt like it was 11 p.m. So yeah, I was all screwed up time-wise because Kelowna's on the West Coast and 3 hours change is enough to really mess with you. But I was there for the Canadian Country Music Awards, where as iHeart, we did a bunch of interviews and things like that. And then also our host, Shannonella, who is a gem, also presented, and we did backstage interviews, which was a whole barrel of fun. I like being involved in the production side of things, which I don't get to do as much as I used to. But yeah, that was really fun. So that was the reason I wasn't there, because by the time I tried to work on Monday, I did a valiant effort. I said, okay, I'll start at 1. And then Mike looked at me at one point and he was like, no pod for you.
I thought like, you had taken all of Monday off.
No,
because you worked the whole weekend.
No time. Because the Thursday that I left, we launched all the new features in the app. So in the iHeart app. So it was just like nuts. Everything kind of coalesced at the same time. So now I'm like picking up the pieces of like all the projects, when you've got big deadlines and then you're like, okay, that'll wait until after.
Yeah.
And then you finish and you're just like, all of this is on your plate. And I was like, dang it. That's a lot.
I was like, who scheduled this for you?
Scheduled this
put
myself.
This together?
And I did that. That's what I did on Monday. I was like, I can do this meeting. I will be fine. No. Because like when you're working those events, it's just like full tilt the entire time. And like on Friday, we did the content row for like 3 hours. So it was like interview after interview after interview. And then my colleague who went with me, we went and grabbed some food and we went back to the hotel room and we just edited until midnight.
Oh my God.
And we got the silly so bad. It was the best. We did one interview with Cameron Whitcomb, who is the funniest person, and I was just dying laughing the entire time. The host was Tom Green, and
oh my gosh,
when I was filming the interview, he had a guitar in his hands and he was playing it. I had the headphones I have on right now, and I was dying because I was laughing, and also it was so loud in my ears. I was like, Tom, please. But he's still as wacky as he always was. So yeah, that was a lot of fun. But that was last weekend. This weekend, I did like not really camping, but kind of camping trip for my father-in-law's 60th birthday. And then, now today at the end of the day, I jumped on YouTube and noticed that the Lilith Fair documentary was there. And I watched that. It's so good, ladies. Watch it.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's on YouTube for CBC. It's also in CBC Gem, I think. And then Joelle, for you, I think it's on Hulu in the States.
Oh, well,
yeah. So, and I know there's some drama around Hulu, and there was even drama around her premiere down there, where she refused to do interviews and refused to perform as part of her protest of all the stuff that was happening at Kimmel, who's back now. So,
I canceled my Disney Plus bundle, and Hulu's a part of that bundle. So
so maybe it'd also be on YouTube like it was, or turn your VPN and watch the Canadian CBC version.
I'm gonna try an alternative method, because I'm gonna keep that shut down for a few months. I'm just like,
I'm like,
I'm gonna keep it down for a few months there, Disney. So, which is fine by me. I'm like, well, I have other things to do.
Oh yeah, totally. Oh man, is there lots of things to do, and we will get into that. But if you get the opportunity, go watch the Lilith Fair documentary. It's crazy that at that time, before that festival, so we're talking 97 to 99 now, they would not play women back to back on the radio. There was never an event. It was really weird to have an event with two women playing on a lineup at a concert. And this was a festival of all women, and it's kind of crazy to see who played those shows.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. So
I remember it being like such a revolutionary thing.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And we were like prime target audience at the time too.
It was like the people like who started. Was it like Sarah McLachlan?
Sarah McLachlan started the whole thing.
Yeah.
Sheryl Crow was involved as well as some of the acts. Tracy Chapman, Sinead O'Connor,
Katie Lang.
Katie Lang. They didn't mention her in the documentary. Oh. You know who did play though in the very they had like part of their thing as they were going the few years or whatever, because it was 3 years long. 3 years that they did the festival. They had like a stage to have certain up and coming artists play. Maya was one of those.
Oh, wow.
Christina Aguilera was one of those.
Wow.
Nelly Furtado was one of those. Yeah. So like some of the crazy stuff, like seeing like Bonnie Raitt on stage playing with folks, and like I'm just like, oh, now if I had my time back, I would want to go see that festival so much. It's very much, and it's interesting too, because like the climate now, like the whole singer-songwriter thing is really big, and it kind of started as like that kind of vibe, but then branched out because Missy Elliott played her very first like tour thing on that festival. Yeah, it's wild.
I wouldn't have guessed that.
Yeah, so go watch the documentary if you have a chance. It's really good. All right, let's get into the Fantasy Critic. So, Podcast League. Points. None of us had any games that released this past week. There was some action on trying to pick up games, though. Arc Riders was won by myself with a bid of $10 as a counter pick. And then Joelle picked up Mixtape as a counter pick as well for $1, Bob.
$1, Bob.
So expensive, Joelle. Yeah, so expensive.
Big spender over here.
There were no drops this week. The current standings are Kat are in first. I am in second. Joelle is in third. And ladies, we have officially filled out all of our rosters, both counter picks and normal picks alike. Yep. So from here on out, unless you decide there's something you want to drop like a hot potato and then replace it with something else, we're locked and loaded. It's going to be interesting to see how this plays out in the end. Right now, Joelle is predicted to place first. So we'll see if that comes to pass. In the Community League, a little bit more action, because obviously more people means more games that have to be chosen. So let's go through. Trials in the Sky, first chapter, which was on Pat's list. Critic of 91 points, 23. Pat knows how to pick them.
Holy cow.
Tawa and the Guardians of the Sacred Tree On Ross's list, a critic of 73.3. Dying Light, The Beast. I want to see it like The Beast. The Beast. On Marco's list, critic of 82, points of 12. Deep Rock Galactic: Survivor. On Jessica's list, critics of 85 points, 15. In the bids category, Hotel Barcelona was won by NJK with a bid of $1, Bob, as a counter pick.
Nice.
Dreams of Another. 2 people clamoring after that one, myself and Pat. But alas, Pat won it with a bid of $11. I only bid $5, so I didn't get it. But I did win Lego Party with a bid of $5. There was also no drops this week. So how does our standings fare? We have Pat, Ross, Margot, Jess, Kat, Albang, Fred, myself, Kyle, Phoenix, NJK, Simon, Adam, Stainsby, Kingsby, and Joelle. Joelle remains without any game at all released.
Nope, don't want one. You can have them. Don't want one.
Don't want
you
one?
keep them. Yep.
All right.
This is why play this game to get games? That's
why break a trend, right? Combo breaker. You don't need that.
What I want for ourselves,
yes.
if I may.
Okay, please continue.
I want Joelle to win the podcast league.
Yes.
Yay!
And I want her to have no points in the community league. Just the
0.
The queen of one. Just
the
extremes.
Queen of Extremes.
Extremes.
There you go.
No in between.
That's what she's going to be called. The Queen of Extremes.
The big donut.
That would bring me so much joy. Like the comedic value.
Just can't.
Has anyone ever seen it before? It's an anomaly.
All right, I'll work on that. I bet I can do it.
It's possible. It's currently projected.
I know.
What is your projected points in the community league?
I gotta fill my board though. Like I gotta do it fairly. I can't just not. So I gotta go and fill my board.
But like you gotta go pick it with games you don't think are ever gonna go.
Oh, I know.
You're currently projected to be in 4th too, girl.
Yeah,
expecting 2 games. 2 games are
2.
expected to release. 2.
Yeah. And what's also hilarious is that Simon has a bigger budget than I do, and he's beating me.
I know. He picked near the beginning, didn't he? Or he was at
the
turn?
First.
Yeah.
Simon did the auto pick. The auto draft
won for him.
Yeah, and he just basically said, he made his publisher, said the auto draft, whatever, and then fucked off and never came back.
He's beating me.
Yet he's beating you, yes.
Oh my goodness gracious. Well, we'll have to wait and see how that all pans out. Let's talk about the games everybody's playing. I know Kat's going to be reviewing a game, so we'll get into that in a second. Joelle, how goes the struggles on Silksong? One week you were like, this isn't so bad. The next week is, I hate myself. Where do you stand now?
Now I'm like, I've made mistakes. Like, I'm regretting my life choices. It is like, but it's so good. Like I want to understand. I'm trying to find the nuance between why like Hollow Knight for me was just annoying and I never finished it because I just was angry and like I just stopped caring. I'm like, I don't care anymore. I'm too mad. Like this is dumb. But with this, it's like, this is rude and awful, but yet I must conquer. So I don't know why it's shifted in my mind where I have this like Alexandrian need to beat this thing, but like it maybe because it's so rude that I'm like out of spite, I'm going to win because
look, don't knock spite as a motivator, okay?
Yeah, like it is just I'm like, I think I'm in the middle and there's like a mid-game boss and just to get to the boss is like kind of difficult platforming, and you have to do it every time you die. And obviously, the boss is hard, so you die all the time. So it's like a 5-phase boss, because the first phase is just platforming to get to boss, and then once you get to boss, then you have to go through the different phases of said boss. So I know that there's kind of like a normal ending and then like a true ending, and I don't know if I'll go for the true ending. I don't know if I want to keep going after I beat it, but it is really fun. I'm really enjoying it so far. I think it's better than Hollow Knight. Really enjoying the story. There's a little bit more story, a little bit more kind of meat and potatoes into it, and but it is hard. Like, if I had a choice, I definitely would have switched it down so I could keep playing, because it's just really fun. So but it is challenging. So I'm having a good time. It took me 2 days to get past one boss. It's just like, I just couldn't, like,
I don't have that kind of patience.
I just couldn't get it.
It's funny you say that, because I finished Call to the Lamb yesterday.
Oh yeah.
And I suppose this isn't spoiling it, but like, the whole point is that, like, you're doing this for one of the demons or whatever you want to call them, the fifth one, and after you beat the fourth, you kind of have to get yourself 20 what do you call them? Villagers? Followers. Yeah, there you go. Cultists.
Yeah.
And then you can unlock going to him, and then you go up to him, and they're like, well, thank you for doing my bidding and killing off all the other demons that I didn't want to deal with. Time for you to die. And you're like, decision time. Do I agree to be sacrificed? Do I not? And I said no the first time. And then boss battle continues. I died. Right? And then I went back again. And I said, okay. And let him kill me.
Yeah.
And then the game ended. And I was like, what? That's it? And then, like, I was like, okay, well, because I found out Slime Rancher 2 comes out tomorrow. Go figure. Just randomly comes out tomorrow.
Yeah. Like, come on.
And then I'm like, do I really want to fight my way figuring out how to beat this boss? And I'm like, no. And then I just watched all the videos on YouTube with the different endings.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
I mean, I finished it. I went.
Yeah,
I
did.
essentially all but like three things filled out the entire tree of like augments or whatever, the skill tree of things you can build and things you can get as you're going to do your runs. So, and I had the DLC and stuff. So, yeah, fun game.
Mm-hmm. It is a fun game.
Really liked it. Curious to see what they're going to do with the next set of DLC.
Yeah,
but there's so many games coming out that I'm I don't have time to dilly-dally and work my way through this. Yeah. This is the ending you gave me. This is the ending I will take.
That's right.
Yeah. So tomorrow is Slime Rancher 2. Thursday is Hades 2. We're in the thick of it now, ladies. Yeah. I had to make a calendar. I had to sit down and figure out what games I'm playing when, because there's only so many hours in a day. I gotta work. I got other commitments like the dog and a husband and a podcast to do, and there's only so many hours. So Slime Rancher tomorrow, trying to get some Hades in later in the week as I work my way to Pokemon. Of course, there's like Ghost of Yotei in the middle of all that too.
Yep.
Yeah, the must play games are really starting to pack up. It's gonna be a fun end of the year. I'm okay if it starts to get cool outside, because I'm not going anywhere. Catherine, you played a new game, Consume Me.
Yes.
What's it all about?
Yeah, shout out to the people of Pop Agenda for the advanced copy. Consume Me is a autobiographical game about a girl named Jenny who has trouble with dieting. So the game does come with a content warning.
Okay.
Because this is basically like low-key an eating disorder. Like, not full-on eating disorder in her case. I don't think she kind of like past that threshold, but it was getting there. There's a mechanic in the game. Essentially, you start the game, it's summer break. You're about to be a senior, so I guess you're between junior and senior in high school. I don't know.
Sophomore and senior?
Is that
Junior?
it?
Freshman, junior, sophomore, senior? If you have 4 years? I'm not sure.
I'm not American. I don't know.
That sounds right. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
She's in New York. She is a daughter of the Chinese descent. So, her mom's a immigrant. So it comes with all the story you have about immigrant families and immigrant mothers that can be very judgmental. You start the game, you get up and you kind of lie around, and then you have lunch. And then the first thing your mom says is like, why are you so lazy? Why do you don't do thing? And why are you piling food on your plate? Your face looks round.
Oh boy.
So if anything of what that said like triggers you, maybe skip the game.
Yeah, like me. I was like, nope, not doing it.
Yeah, it might spiral some of you. But essentially the title is very important because it's not just about the dieting. I think the dieting is a lot like how people get eating disorders because it's the only thing they can control. Because as she goes into her senior year, there's this whole idea of getting ready for the SATs, getting into a nice university, going pre-med and everything. And she finds a boyfriend and maybe she wants to go to the same university as him. And, then for his he's older. So for his first year of university, you're still a senior and, it goes long distance and things like that. And it's just a lot of stress and a lot of things piling up on her plate. But like the figurative plate of balancing everything, right? And with every chapter, you try to balance. There's always a priority, and you try to balance something. And everything is a mini game. So for your dieting, is basically Tetris. So you have a little board, and you have to fill the hunger with food. And then some foods are more calorie dense. So they used instead of going with calories or something that can be extremely triggering, they went with bites.
Okay.
So, a steak takes 4 squares, but is worth maybe like 10 bites. As in like a tomato or piece of kale might take 5 or 6 squares, but only be worth 5 bites, things like that. And then you can exercise to burn some bites, that kind of thing. And every chapter starts with you basically talking to yourself in your mirror and the mirror talking you down and telling you got to be on top of your studies. You got to be on top of your relationship with your boyfriend. And on top of that, you got to lose some weight because you're getting fat and blah. And it's just like terrible, terrible, terrible. Like it's basically the story of a teenage girl that is spiraling. And of course, her mom compares her to some other girl that's quote unquote perfect, right? So, and I've noticed like with the art, the way you see like the representation of Jenny changes depending on what you're doing. Like when you're getting dressed in the morning, she looks fine. When she's sitting down at the table and you have the mini game to eat, she's much more rounder and puffy. If you decide to have a snack, because let's say like you got like under your bite, whatever, and then in your activities, you decide to like walk the dog, but it made you extra hungry. You might need a snack to refill her energy and make sure that you're like got energy to study or whatever. So you have like a mechanic of going to the corner store and buying snacks. When you do the mini game of like, literally it's her on the side tipping something into her mouth and just like swallowing it whole. She also looks very, very round. So it's all about the perception of herself, right? So and basically you do this whole story. There's 13 different endings. Most of them are bad because essentially, little spoiler, like it's basically she's not doing great in general. And then at one point she has an epiphany and she becomes Jenny the game dev. And Jenny the game dev is the person that made the game.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, snap.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, and it's at the end of the game, when they start rolling through a bit like the credits,
Mm-hmm.
It's very interesting because they roll the credits, the main credits, by basically, instead of playing the game, it goes into autoplay. And she's like, you see her meet like a new boyfriend. And that's AP Thompson or AP Thomas. I forget his name. He helped her make the game. And then she meets another friend, and that friend helped with the music. And the way she does it is, you have her phone, and on the phone, she shows like photos of actually herself. And she showed photos of herself in high school. She did not need to go on a diet, you guys. I'm telling you here and now. She was never fat. And that was really interesting because I think like a lot of the game is basically you trying to see if you could make it happen when Jenny couldn't. But in the end, it's because it's about her, and she transferred from pre-med to go into game design, and then she designed this game and she published this game. So the end of the game is always going to be Jenny becomes a game dev. But like Venba, it's not about like spoiling the story. It's about this experience, about living somebody else's life, right? Venba was a Tamil family in Toronto. Here we're talking about an American girl of Chinese descent in New York, and the city life that comes with that. But yeah, and you go, and there's a lot of mini games that are really interesting. They're all very simple, mini games to help her read books, for mini games to study, mini games to work out, mini games to pack her lunch so she can be on top of her diet and stuff like that. And the art is very simple and very like almost like hand drawn, like almost like kids drawing. And I think that's a choice because it's almost like her scribbling in her diary. And honestly, like it was like, I decided to play it because I was like, I have issues with like anxiety and stress, but like I don't have issues with food. Like I've never had issues with, eating. So I was like, that won't trigger me. The whole thing where she's like, all right, we got to manage studying for the SAT, doing your test, studying for this, doing this and doing that. Plus you got to do this, and you're going to have to like, the way the game does it is you have mechanics, right? They're like, you got to make sure your mood, your energy, and your guts. Your gut is basically, if you starve yourself too much, you're too hungry, and you can't work. You have to manage all these things. So you end up, at one point, you end up staying late so that you have more time. So you can do one more action per day so that your free time, doesn't end. You end up drinking a lot of coffee to refill your energy, or, energy, things like that, because you can't balance it all. You can't make it happen. And I think like, as you play the game, I realize that the title "Consume Me" is not just about the dieting. It's about the ever-consuming stress of life, and eventually it comes to a breaking point, and you just have to find yourself, be yourself, and maybe do something else with your life. I really enjoyed this game. I completed it in 2 days, in under 5 hours. But yeah, what ended up like triggering me or stressing me out or like getting this emotional response in me was like when schoolwork started to pile up, and she was like, I feel like I can't get it all done. I'm not going to get it all done. And then something happens in the story where she basically breaks down. That's where I was like, I'm like, all right, eating disorders are not my thing, but being close to burnout is, though. That shit was hard. But that's the point of these games, right? They were nominated for a lot of awards and stuff. That's the point of this game. It's autobiography. I am not an American. I am not of Chinese descent. I did not go through the American system, but there's stuff that like I had to go through as well. And then there's stuff that is just, I can only imagine, added to it and made it like that much more worse. I can see how you end up spiraling or breaking. Like if you, for example, turning to religion for support or turning to mentors, like how did you do it? And then you realize they're all like cutting corners or making ridiculous sacrifices, right? So essentially this girl was on a quest to be the perfect version of herself. despite her and despite the people around her. Yeah, it was a very simple game that has like that very cartoony look, very colorful. The music is very upbeat. It's really great, but you end up like thinking about it. You're like, it's so dark and deep. But much like Venba, it's like short but sweet. Really happy I played it. And honestly, I think more people need to make these kinds of games, like these very deep, personal, autobiographical stories, because that's how you get the real stuff. That's how you get the stuff that sticks with you, the stuff that really touches you. And even like when you look at some stories, you know, like when I looked at Venba, I was like, I got nothing in common with this story. No, I did. I ended up, yeah. And with the story of Kutsumi, I'm like, I guess I didn't really go through that kind of shit. But then I'm like, yeah. Like there's at least 50% of it happened to me that I can relate to. A lot of the self-image issues or the trying to give yourself a certain image, trying to fit in, things like that. But I highly recommend this game. But yeah, it can be, because it is very, very personal. It can be very triggering for some people. But it's an amazing game and a short one. And I doubt it's going to be very expensive.
Yeah, it comes out on the 25th, I believe, on Steam.
Yes.
Yeah, it's nice to have these projects.
And it's, I think when it comes to this, I'm sorry, I've been saying autobiographical, but she says it's a semi-autobiographical because they probably took narrative liberties, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, is that you turn to the adults to tell you what's important.
Mm-hmm.
And what they're going to tell you is important is heavily skewed by what they think would make your life better compared to what they had or they didn't have. And I think like when it comes to immigrant parents, education is like the be all end all. Education to become a doctor or a lawyer and then have a good paying job, have a high salary, and then live the life I never could and live the American dream, right?
Mm-hmm.
Not realizing she can achieve this by being in game dev as well, you know? But yeah, it is such a nice little, cute little game that stuck with me. Like it sat with me for a while. Venba also sat with me for a while, and this one too. But yeah, you turn to adults to tell you what's important, and then at one point you realize, you know, was it really that important? You know, they worry about grades and they worry about, you know, like your grades and everything. Yeah, that gets you to university. Sure, you do your university and they're like, oh yeah, education is going to be very important when you get a job. And then you get on the job market and they don't care what grades you had, what extracurricular you had. A lot of them care for you to get have experience first, or maybe find a internship and whatever. But like you get, I guess, like 2-3 years in the job market and you realize adults, when you're a teenager, put a lot of stock into your education and your results and the numbers that line up in the sheet. And then you go into the real world and you realize that shit means nothing. Holy shit, it means so little.
Yeah.
Or, you know, when you're in high school and they're like, yeah, you're goofing off. Like when you get to college, your professor won't stand by this. And then you get to college and your professor's like, yeah, I didn't grade your papers. I'm too hungover. It's like, you know, like I went to like my teachers, like when I was in, you know, in university and in college, being like, oh yeah, like I'm sorry, like I didn't realize there was a test, but I'm getting my wisdom teeth taken out. And they were like, oh, okay. Like, I'll have a date for a makeup. I'm like, what? Like, yeah. People are sick all the time. Like, you know, for these tests, they always have like an extra date.
Mm-hmm.
He was just, I was like, all right, do you need a doctor's note? He's like, you're 19 years old. You're telling me 19-year-olds get their wisdom teeth taken out all the fucking time. They're like, it's fine, girl. You're fine. take the makeup test.
Yeah.
He emailed me when the makeup test went, and I showed up to makeup test. I was swollen and beaten up. And he was actually supervising the makeup test, and he was like, I told you, like, fucking 19-year-old getting you. It was like, why are you so stressed? Because I went to a private high school and they put that kind of pressure on me. And then you realize later on in life, it's like, it was way too much. A lot of education needs to be like for yourself.
Yeah. The problem is, and we can go on a whole diatribe on this. Yeah. Because all of us have done a lot of school. Yeah. To varying degrees of enjoyment and not. But yeah. I love the fact that this game exists. I'm curious about it. I might give it a go myself because, yeah, those are all important things. Just like the reality check, even in our everyday life right now, it's like all the things pressure we try to put on ourselves to do all the things and make it all happen. And is it worth it?
It's like I look back at this game and like how it got progressively more stressful for her. Mm-hmm. And I was like, if you realize like how easy and much more enjoyable your teenage years were after. Because she worries about stuff like, you know, like her friends and her maybe finding a boyfriend and having enough money to go to a concert. And then as you get to college, it becomes like more adult problems, right? You know, when I think about that, like how putting herself so much pressure in a time that was basically mostly carefree. You know,
that doesn't probably not her choice though too. Like,
no, exactly.
Like it's not like you're saying, like it's I really like that the game, and you notice this, that the game captured the pressure that adults can place on teenagers. And then because in their mind, like it is the end of the world. And then when you get there, you're like, oh, this is not like, I didn't really need to worry about that. And that's not always like that thinking isn't always available to like the kid because there's no other reality presented. So yeah, this is a game I could 100% not play at all, but I'm really glad that it's out there and that people can just see what it's like. Cause I think that's what it is too, is to broaden experiences from other people that you would probably never have that experience. And so it sounds like it was really, really well done. Like really well done.
It was, honestly. Just a small team, simple art style, simple mechanics, but it's like very much a bit like a la Persona, where you manage your day and your time and you have goals to get done. And if you wear outfits, it can help you do chores more easily, or, you know, cut times in half. You know, there's like this whole like big mechanic. And I didn't dwell too much on the mechanics because they're simple. They're nothing you haven't seen before, but they're to the flavor of, you know, this game and this story and this narrative. And they're really fun and cute. But it's really about this coming of age story and just this realization that why do we put so much pressure on ourselves when we're basically still children? That's what I want people to realize about this story. Forget about the age of majority or whatever. If you have teen in your age, you're a child. And teenage years are hard because you're on the cusp of adulthood and you feel more adult than you do children, but you're still a child. And you still have time to grow and time to change. And you aren't the person you're going to be yet. I can say, like, for myself, like, it took well into my 20s to find myself and to be comfortable with myself. Like, you know, they say the frontal lobe happens like in the early 20s. For me, like, it was very transformative. Like, my 20s were very transformative. And then my 30s were some of the best years of my life. So a lot of people are like, if I don't do things, like by the time I get to college and whatever, my life will be over. Absolutely not. Never, ever, ever. Yeah. Too many people kind of like change careers or start projects later in life. It can happen. Like, Joelle, you started as a minister or a priest for a while before changing to tech. Like, it's fine.
Yep. It's fine.
I've only been a game dev for 5 years. It's fine, guys.
It's fine. Yeah, because like I think that's the beauty of it is just like embracing, understanding and processing what you went through, and having a lot of grace with yourself for trying to get through it the best you could, and then realizing that life is a series of chapters and of journeys, and like you you go through each one with as best you can with the knowledge that you have, and then I think for me it's like the biggest thing is to try to learn and grow from each phase. It's just like how can I be better, how can I have some more self-actuality and have more grace with myself and other people. And I kind of think like then you just go do the things that try to go do the things that you want to do, and everyone is different, and comparison is awful. Like comparison is terrible because it's really difficult then to try to find joy in what you have when you want something and you see everyone else have it, and it's like, but I want that now. But there's all things come in like in good time. So I don't know. Now we're on a pep talk soapbox, but it's just like
now we've gone down a rabbit hole.
But this is the conversation this game is about, basically.
Right?
Yeah.
For this character named Jenny. So
yeah, love that. All right, ladies, let's take a wee break and then we can get into some silly stuff. What do you think?
Yeah.
Sure.
All right, we'll be right back. All right, this is a video game podcast, so let's play a podcast game about video games. And guess what? Walk Down Memory Card Lane is back!
Whoa!
So, the most annoying sound in the world means we're going to start playing Walk Down Memory Card Lane. I am going to start with the date of release of a game. The ladies will have the chance to guess what game it is. I have hints. They can ask for more. Hopefully, they'll be able to figure it out. Are you ladies ready to play this game? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
As a reminder, please talk it out. All right. This game was released in 1984 in Japan and 1985 in North America.
85.
Please let the guessing begin.
Okay, so this is Genesis, Nintendo, Atari.
Uh-oh.
Maybe an arcade game.
Yeah, it could be an arcade game. That's actually a good point.
I mean, it is the 40 years of Mario.
Yeah,
Mario.
Did you pick a Mario game?
Mario.
Is it Super Mario Brothers, the first?
No, it is not.
Ah.
All right.
Yeah, I don't. That's fairly vague.
Do you want another hint?
Yes, please.
This game came out on the NES.
Is it Duck Hunt?
God damn it, Joelle.
Yes!
How are you so smart?
Just today.
That was my next guess.
All right. Duck Hunt released in 1984 in Japan and 1985 in North America, released on the Nintendo Entertainment System. This game never had a direct sequel. Not
That's
one.
a shame. That's a shame.
Not one.
Bring it back.
This game also has no ending.
That's true. It doesn't.
The score would go to 900,099 and 900 points and then loop back to 0. The villains programming, and I had to rate it as villains because I wasn't going to rate it as ducks, had pseudo-randomized movements. Apparently, it only had a certain number of animations and directions it could play from, so the random was just whatever it picked within that library. There were only ever 2 ducks on the screen at once, because if you had 3, the screen would glitch.
It's too many.
Too many ducks. Your companion, and I had to say companion because I wasn't going to say the dog. Your companion's laugh is known as one of the most annoying video game sounds.
Oh. The mocking.
Fuck that guy.
Yeah.
There is an urban legend that you could kill your companion, the dog, in the game, but that is false.
Oh, okay.
It is
false.
It is one of the most widely played NES games. The game was often bundled with a console in many regions, paired with another game, Super Mario Brothers.
That's the bundle we got when I was a wee child.
Or was it just Mario Brothers, not Super Mario Brothers?
It was just Mario Brothers.
It was just Mario Brothers.
Yeah.
And then it was re-released in 2014 on the Wii U Virtual Console.
That
So,
is
yeah.
wild.
Duck Hunt.
Duck Hunt, man.
The sound of that gun, the kakank kakank.
Yeah. I could
yeah,
not reference anything to do with the gun because I knew you guys would know it right away.
Yeah.
But yeah, who would have thought the game had no end?
That
It's
was
just an infinite loop of
I
a dog
knew-
laughing at you. Well, the dog would only laugh if you stopped, if you failed at shooting the ducks.
oh, he was so annoying.
I have somebody in my family every Christmas. You know, we had the NES that still worked, and I was like, by that time, like in my early 20s, he'd sit down and play, and we would try to see how long he could get, because at one point the ducks, they can't go any faster, right?
Right.
And he got to like level 100 and some or whatever. We never got the
Wow.
loop, but every Christmas, basically he had to stop playing because my mom would come down and be like, all right,
It's dinner
dessert
time.
served, nerds, come up. And you're like, maybe next year, clink.
yeah. Oh, funny.
Well, the news story that I've got for us this week to make a wonderful transition. Maybe Duck Hunt would be a prime example of this, or something that could turn into a college history class. We have gotten a history class about Grand Theft Auto before we've even gotten Grand Theft Auto 6. So the story that I pull comes from IGN. On January 20th, 2026, students at the University of Tennessee will attend the world's first Grand Theft Auto college history class. That's right. We got GTA college history class before GTA 6. Grand Theft America, U.S. history since 1980 through the GTA video games was devised and will be taught by history professor Tor Olson, who eagle-eyed IGN fans might remember from our coverage of his Red Dead Redemption American history class, another world first. Accompanying that course was Professor Olson's book, Red Dead's History, and an audiobook narration by none other than Arthur Morgan actor Roger Clark. Turns out Professor Olson has planned to launch his class with GTA 6 firmly under his belt, but Rockstar's high-profile delay to May 2026 dashed those plans, just as they did those for so many video game publishers. So, with that, this is hard to read. So, with what will no doubt be the biggest entertainment launch of all time, that is an awkward sentence to read. I am really sorry. Waiting in the wings, Professor Olson will soldier ahead. So, I mean, I heard tales, and there's a Taylor Swift college history class.
That's real.
That is real.
That happened a few years ago.
Yeah,
they
that's
did.
a thing.
Yeah, that is a thing. Yep.
We've gotten Red Dead Redemption as a history class, now GTA, and I can totally see it analyzing, especially some of the art history classes and things that I used to do for analysis and stuff. I could see this happen. It brings me to ask, what other game series should be turned into college classes? Ladies, have you got any ideas?
Oh, I have a real world example. My friend PL Fjellberg teaches history, geography, humanities, like in high school. And he uses the Assassin's Creed Discovery Tours.
Oh,
that's cool.
nice.
And he was really, really sad when they didn't do anymore. But then they recently released for free. It's a website. The one based on Mirage. So medieval Baghdad. So I sent it to him. I was like, guess what? Now it's a website. And you don't need to buy a game. You don't need to run the game. He was actually very stoked. He loves these kinds of things because, like, you know, games, and this article says it, like this professor talks about what Red Dead got wrong and what GTA got wrong, or, you know, the artistic liberties that they took. You know, Assassin's Creed's very much the same. They have to fill in the gaps and stuff like that.
And make a compelling story.
Exactly. What's great about the Discovery Tours is they remove all the gameplay and you just walk around and you talk to the people and you basically you read through all the encyclopedic entries that they have when you play the game. There's always like a little encyclopedia to tell you where you've been, some of the people you met, and who they were historically. And we rarely read through them while we were playing the game because it's like a stabby, shooty, sneaky, sneaky. Get to end of game that is like 100 hours long.
And go and see all the bad guys that are actually mythical creatures and things like that.
Exactly.
Yes.
So he uses those a lot. He's really happy when games that use historical facts then make this just the history part and the recreation part and the visual part and the textual part available for teaching. He uses them as teaching assistants. So
cool.
Assassin's Creed class, I guess. History class.
Nice. Based around, so it's like history based on the Assassin's Creed franchise. Or
that's basically
using the Assassin's Creed franchise as a mechanism.
Yeah, because basically they build these worlds, right? They recreate these cities from these time and they bring in these characters and whatnot. And they make a game, and it's an action adventure game. What they've been doing in this then, like, just take the history part and just put it in a product where people can just walk around like ancient Egypt, walk into the pyramids, literally walk into the pyramids and, talk to people that built the pyramids or things like that. They did for Odyssey for ancient Greece. And now they did it for Baghdad with Discovery. I don't know if they ever did it for Valhalla and the Vikings.
I don't remember.
I've been working there all through that.
I know they did when they had that fire at Notre Dame Cathedral. They then put that out so that people could go and learn about Notre Dame Cathedral.
They offered to give their 3D models and all of their research to the city of Paris because they had heavily researched and documented to recreate it. So they had 3D models that were not exactly up to scale, but they were like, y'all, we got this in our game. And we have like so much history and so much research that like, if you need like a visual of like, we need to rebuild it. What did it look like? And what was the structure like? Like Ubisoft had a lot of that data that they had collected themselves and that they made available to the people,
Fixing?
that's just rebuilding.
Repairing?
Yeah,
Restoring?
Restoring, that's the word. Restoring the cathedral post-fire.
Yeah.
So I think like stuff like Grand Theft Auto that bases themselves on like an American city and a time, and they make a parody of it. I think that making a parody of it requires almost like more research and more intention than like trying to purposely recreate it. Because to get that uncanny valley right, it takes a lot of craft. And I think it's very interesting that he's using that as a way to teach American history through something that a lot of people played and a lot of people experienced, and something that's in the mythos. I guess that's like trying to teach about samurais with like Kurosawa films.
Yeah, and I like how it's bringing video game analysis into that more academic spaces that, not really kind of used to where it is. We're used to seeing it. So yeah, that's really cool. Joelle, what would you like to see as a course?
Well, this might not come as a huge surprise, but I would like to see an ethics and environmental course based on Horizon.
Ooh.
Because you got the geography aspect, you got the tech aspect of it, and then you also have like kind of this anthropological lens of what happens to humans, like when we allow technological ethics to kind of run away and escape us. So I think it could be a really interesting course that the game provides so much information that you'd be able to probably do at least, I would say, like probably could do at least a section or part of a semester, like deep diving into those types of things from the wealth of knowledge of the game. Because you could even take like each sections of games, especially in the first one, by chapter of like what objectives you really want your students to do, and then have a conversation around that as well. There's just a lot of dynamics like in that game where I'm like, it'd be a really rich deep dive into.
Yeah, and you could really mess with the fact that like because obviously there's a lot to cover, right? Part of the curriculum, maybe part of it's also reading Clan of the Cave Bear, which
Yeah.
a lot of
Yep.
it was drawn from too, right?
Yep.
So like maybe there's something there to kind of like, go through all the bits and pieces and analysis. That would be a fun class.
Yeah, it would just be, I think, really interesting. And then there's just like, there's so many, like I said, aspects to dive into, especially like with almost the evolution of the different tribes, evolution of religion, evolution of leadership and perspective on that, historical truth telling and narrative guidance. So the game is so good. And so I just thought, like, immediately I was like, well, I would take a Horizon class.
Yeah, of course.
Just like, that's what I would do.
Yeah. My comedic answer is Kingdom Hearts. Because that needs to be studied.
Oh my god!
Jesus Christ, it does.
I would not pay money.
I would.
No.
Like, honestly, though.
That's good.
I'd love to sit down and see. But no, but like,
God.
think about this. And I say it's my comedic answer, but it's also not. How the draw in of the characters from the Disney a vault of all these characters and all these places and all these things, and how they're able to convert that and try and tell a story through it is pretty interesting. Joelle's still shaking her head.
You said try to tell a story. You just said try. So I was like, yeah, try to tell. Exactly.
Oh my goodness. The other
it would
class,
be cool. It would be cool. Yeah.
The other class that I'd like to see is maybe a little bit on the like, and maybe not, it's not one game or one series per se, but the kind of trajectory history of the farming sim and why that drives so many people and why it scratches that itch in so many gamers, like a non-combat, cozy farming sim that, like gets people motivated and want to play more, and, like how you're drawing fulfillment from doing something that could be, kind of, a mellow activity that you could do. And then does that inspire people to go and, garden themselves? Yeah, there's so many options. I just love the fact that this is the thing now and you can create these stories. Imagine if we could go and take an entire like university, like have a degree in like video game studies. And that's essentially what you get like a master in, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. You have art historian, like fine arts and music and movies and theaters, like video games. We got to get on this.
Yeah, it's so crazy too, because like I remember one class that I took in college because I was in communications, and I loved the history of television. It was like history like 1 and 2, and it was about like TV, like sitcoms and that kind of stuff. But they took all of like the raw Nelson rating data, like per region and per, if they filled it out per gender, per age group. And it was so interesting when you pulled back like, 50,000 feet and looking at the data and the trends over a specific time period of television, how much it like really captures culture, like fairly accurately, of what was happening in the time in the region that they're filming it. And then when you kind of place them all together, like back to back to back, and see the narrative of whatever, audience that show is targeting, and the evolution of their beliefs and what they're thinking and what they want and what resonates with them, it was really interesting. And so now I feel like when I watch certain TV shows and I understand I'm the captive audience to that, it's just like, oh, like this is like documented of like, I'm interested in this and this exists because I'm interested in it. Like it's a direct kind of reflection and mirror of society, which is super fascinating. And that's why I think I liked WandaVision so much, because I think it like really captures that spirit like as well. So but yeah, it is truly, I think the video games would say the same thing. Like, it's just
I took a class that was like the history of animation, and it started with like some of the beginning stuff and then rolled right through kind of like the golden age up until, what we used to Animaniacs and all that kind of stuff, got into anime, got into 3D animation, computer animation, and all that kind of stuff. And it was just really fun to see kind of like how it evolved and the process and technology did, and then the tools. It's funny that we're talking about this after the previous conversation of like deciding, someone being in high school and trying to figure out what they want to do with their lives. And like, after going through an undergrad degree and a master's degree and thinking back of my favorite classes that I had, and more often than not, they weren't the ones that were direct correlations to what my degree ended up being. It was just that I took a lot from that and drew inspiration from a lot of that, which is the whole point of university, right?
It's true.
Just to learn
it's
and
to
not
learn
stress
and
out about an experiment
and expand ideas.
Yeah.
Yes.
Develop critical thinking.
Yeah. What a novel
analysis.
I don't know
Critical
what that is.
thinking, dissecting, making decisions for yourself, questioning everything.
Sounds too hard, Kat. That sounds like too much.
Yeah, sounds complicated.
You're right.
All right, with that, I think we close out the show for this week. If you enjoy this show and you want to read up on that article from IGN and things like that, or, any of the news stories that we talk about on previous episodes of the show, you can always go and track them down on girlsongames.ca. There is every single episode with the links and stuff. Kat always puts that together for us. Thank you so much, Kat, for doing that. If you have the power to rate and review this podcast on the podcast platform where you are consuming it, that'd be much appreciated. Why? It helps with discovery, pushes us up in the rankings, and any comments you leave help us build our show. Thank you, ladies, for being on this podcast with me this week. Thank you for holding down the fort last week. We're into all the fun video game releases now, so this is going to be a really exciting next few weeks so that people can follow you and find out what you're playing and how things are going and maybe other fun things going on in your life. Where can they find you on social media?
I am CSDSBINS, CSDBIN on Twitter, Instagram, Blue Sky, Threads, but I'm mostly active on the Girls on Game Discord, trying to cleanse myself of my social media addiction still. And it's working.
Yay.
Good.
Except for Sky Cards.
Sky Cards? Yeah. That's not social media, girl.
She's expanding her definition now.
Yeah, she has.
Screen time is up, not down.
Oh, my God. Joelle, where can people find you?
People can find me on Instagram at JoelleLauren87 and on Blue Sky at Joelle Lauren, but always hanging out in the Girls on Games Discord. Come and say hi.
And I am Leah Jew on most social media platforms, but of course you want to know everything there's to know about Girls on Games. You can track us down at The Girls on Games on X and Facebook. Just Girls on Games, no the in there on Instagram, Threads, Blue Sky, and TikTok. Discord.me/Girls on Games to continue this conversation and more. But of course, if you ever need to know anything at all, you can track it down at our home base. That's our website, girlsongames.ca. Thank you, Kat. Thank you, Joelle. It's been another lovely week in video games, and I'm so excited. I get to play Slime Rancher tomorrow. It's like Christmas. I didn't know it was coming, and here it is.
Yay!
Yay! All right. Until next week, everybody. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.